Good morning, dear children. Now today we will come to the last part of the mode of transfer of heat, that is radiation. Already we have discussed the three modes of transfer of heat are there: conduction, convection and radiation. So conduction and convection, already we have discussed that. Now we will come to the last point, we will discuss it today about the term radiation. But before we come to the term radiation, okay, let us discuss about the term thermal. Now this thermal, now what is thermal? Now during the day the land they heated up faster, and the air just above the land they get warmed, they become less dense, they become light or less dense and rises up. So same as following the sea breeze and the land breeze, you know that, okay? So following that condition here. So now when that air above the land they heated up because of the heat of the sun, because the land gets heated, okay? Just during the day the land gets heated up because of the sun's heat, and the air above the land they expand, they become heated, they expand and they become less dense, and therefore it rises up, and that process we call it as a thermal. So now what is thermal is the rising hot air current in the atmosphere. The rising hot air current. Hot air means that just above the land, the air they becomes heated up. Okay, they becomes very hot. When they become hot, they expand and they become that air becomes very light, and therefore it rises up into the atmosphere. So that process we call it as a thermal. So when you define it, the rising hot air current in the atmosphere is called the thermal. So now depending upon this, okay, now this thermal it helps the gliders, you know the gliders, okay, they are gliding, the gliders to rise up in the air. Okay, now these gliders also they rise up in the air depending upon the application or the use by using this process, by using thermal. And even the soaring birds, okay, or the birds of prey, okay, they climb up without flapping their wings. They don't flap their wings. Okay, now this is based on, all are based on the thermals. Okay, so it has got a very important application. Okay, the application I have given you, the birds of prey or the soaring bird, okay, without flapping their wings, they climb up, and also the gliders also, they will rise up in the air by the applications of thermal. Now let us come to the radiation. Now radiation, it is the transfer of heat from a hotter body to the colder body without heating the space between them. Let us take an example. One is a hotter body and a colder body. That means a sun is a hotter body object, okay, and the earth is a colder body. That means when the sun rises, okay, the heat of the sun, the solar heat, they falls on the earth, and the earth gets heated up. Like the land gets heated up, okay, the water gets heated up. All these things, all this process occurs. So when the hotter body will transfer, when the heat is transferred from the hotter body to the colder body, the space between the hotter and the colder body, that space doesn't get heated up. But whereas in case of a conduction and convection, it gets heated up. Okay, but in a radiation, the mode of it is the mode of transfer of heat. In which transfer of heat from the hotter body towards the colder body without heating the space between them. That is known as the radiation. And the radiation does not require any material medium. Okay, material medium means any substance is needed to heat, to transfer the heat. Okay, I'll give the example of conduction. So to transfer the heat in a conduction, some object is required. matter is required. Okay, liquid is required, solid is required, gases are required in case of solid and liquid. Okay, in case of conduction and convection. But whereas in a radiation, all these matter, that is solid, liquid and gases are not required. As you know that the heat given by the sun can travel. Okay, the sun can travel even in a vacuum, in an empty space also the sun can travel. It doesn't require any metal medium. Likewise, in a radiation, it doesn't require any metal medium to transfer the heat. Okay, so now, and very important, and it is one of the fastest mode of transfer of heat. Okay, compared to conduction and convection, this radiation is one of the fastest mode of transfer of heat. It does not require any metal medium to transfer heat, and it is the mode of transfer of heat from hotter body to colder body without heating the space between them. So that is about the radiation. Okay, and the example, the energy from the sun reaches the earth by radiation. Okay, so the heat which we get from the sun to the earth, okay, it is through the process of radiation. And the next point is also there. The amount of heat radiated from the body, the amount of heat radiated from the body means the amount of heat given out by the body depends upon the four factors there. The amount of heat radiated from the body depends upon the four factors. Number one is the temperature. Depends upon the temperature. Second point is the surface area of the body. Okay, that means temperature means the hotter body. If the body is hotter, they will radiate more heat. When the body is cold, they will radiate less heat. They will give out less heat. Likewise, surface area. More the surface area, more the heat will be radiated or given out. Surface area means the area of the body. Okay, more the surface area, more the heat will be radiated. Lesser the surface area, lesser the heat will be radiated. Next point is the distance between the source of radiation and the body. Okay. Next point is distance between the source of radiation and the body. Distance between the source of radiation and the body. That means, which means that if the distance between the source of radiation, if the distance between the body which are giving out heat is more. Okay. Suppose if I keep if you take a sun and there is huge distance between the sun and the earth. Okay, if the sun and the earth, if the sun is very closer to the earth, what will happen? The earth will become more heated. The earth will become more heated, and none of the organisms can able to survive. Okay, because it becomes so heated, so it becomes very difficult for all the living things to get survive. So there is a huge distance between the sun and the earth. So with this distance, all the living organisms can be able to survive on the earth. So which means that longer the distance, more the distance between the source of radiation and the body, okay, the heat will become less, or the radiation will become less. If the distance between the source of radiation and the body is very close, then what will happen? The heat which is given by the body or by the source of radiation will become more. Okay, so more heat will definitely become impossible for all the living organisms to survive. And the last one is here, the color of the body. Okay, the color of the body. So which body? If the color is light, then they will reflect the heat, they will absorb less heat. Like for example, take white color. The white color, they reflect more heat rather than they absorb. Okay, so these are the four factors on which the heat radiated from the body, it depends. The heat which has been radiated from the body depends upon the four factors. Let us come to the next point, absorption and reflection of the radiant heat. Now when the radiant heat, that is the heat from the sun, when it falls on the object or on a body, okay, now some part of the body will be reflected and and most of them are absorbed. So depending upon the body, either the heat can be reflect more or the heat can be absorbed more. So if they reflect more heat rather than they absorb, they are considered as a good reflector. Or if they absorb more heat than they reflect, they are considered as a good absorber. So the body can be a good absorber as well as a good reflector. So the white color, okay, white things or the light things or the light color are a good reflector and the dark color are a good absorber. Taking this example, we will come to some application of the radiation or the radiant heat. During the summer, we wear a white color or the light color clothes, especially the white color, because this white color clothes will keep you comfortable and cool during the summer, because they will reflect more radiant heat. The heat which has been given by the sun, when it falls on that light color clothes, especially the white color, they will reflect more heat, and when they reflect more heat, okay, they will keep our body, this light color clothes will keep our body warm, cool during the summer, that is comfortable and cool during the summer. Whereas during winter we wear dark color clothes, because in winter you have to protect yourself from cold. So we wear woolen clothes, we wear dark color clothes. So dark color clothes, they are good absorbed. So they will absorb the heat. When they absorb the heat, they will keep our body warm. So this is one of the application of radiation or the radiant heat. Second one is there, the cooking utensils. The cooking utensils are polished from upper side and they are painted black from inner side. That is, the lower side is black. Now why the lower side of the utensils are black? That means to absorb more heat. When they absorb more heat, the food will be cooked much more faster. And the outer surface is polished. Okay? Why they are polished means they keep the food warm for a longer time. Similarly, in a room heater, the back portion of the room heater is polished. Okay, the back portion of the room heater is polished so that they will reflect more heat and keeps the room warm. So all these are the application of the radiant heat or the radiation. In the next class, we will come to the last point, that is about the thermoflux. And after that, we will come to the end of the chapter and we will come to the next chapter. Thank you.